If you think the PC culture is getting completely out of control, you're on the money. I'll drink to that. Because apparently these days, this, which was throughout history the A-OK, seems to be a major problem now. And when you want to break down major problems like this and find, there it is, the big new conspiracy theory. When you want to break down these major theories and maybe look even at the lighter side of things, we bring in the head writer and producer for We the Internet, and they do original comedy, sketches, and political correct and incorrect both on We the Internet, right?
Sure, yeah.
So what are people saying? Supposedly this, when positioned like this, means something completely different. I'm not aware of all these new gang signs, but I thought this was okay.
Yeah, for as long as I've been alive, it's been an okay symbol. I will not be doing it today because I don't want to, because I'm protecting myself. It seems like it's a controversy that seems to only exist online. Seems like if you're on Twitter, that's where a lot of this discussion is happening. But meanwhile, if you talk to a regular person who doesn't live their life on social media, they're going to say, what's going on? The idea that the OK symbol is somehow a symbol of white supremacy now is a little insane. And I have a comedy friend, Boris Hyken, who points out that how can we just allow white supremacists to appropriate all the good stuff? And the OK symbol is a really good thing. And it's like, we cannot let them have this.
Look what they've already done to the Charlie Chaplin mustache, which used to be a hot fashion item.
Yeah.
Now, if people call it a Hitler mustache.
Yeah. Oh my God!
Although ladies are still allowed to have the Hitler bangs, so apparently that never went out of style.
That's true. I didn't think about that one. What about if a woman identifies a man and has the Hitler bangs and the Hitler stash?
That is making
like
quite the statement.
That's like a double negative. Yeah, then So this all leads to, like you said, these people who live on the internet. Like most of the kids these days are being raised on the internet, but this all leads to, what they call now the cancel culture, right? Like everybody wants to cancel people out, block them, unfriend them, boycott them, BDS. Or what's happening with this? We're losing it.
Well, I think with social media, it gives a lot of people the opportunity to have their voice heard, which is amazing. But it also lends people the opportunity to sort of jump onto, social media mobs and gang up on people, which can, have the unfortunate result of, ending careers for people. I happen to be fortunate to be working in comedy, so controversial opinions or jokes are kind of what I do. But, if you're somebody who is working a regular job, the idea
Let me stop you here, Lou.
Go.
Tell me about this.
Okay.
Funny thing about hate speech. Hashtag funny hate tour. Now, obviously I love a joke as much as the next guy, but what is funny about hate speech? I mean, hate speech is responsible
Give us some examples.
Yeah, can you give us an example?
Well,
that won't get us thrown off television?
I can't promise that.
Okay.
The tour, the funny thing about hate speech was a tour where I promoted a mini documentary that I produced with We the Internet TV called 5 Reasons Why We Need Hate Speech. And I understand that it's a provocative title. One of the issues is hate speech is a very hard thing to define, especially if you're talking about defining it in law and looking to punish people for committing hate speech. So I'm of the mind that the best way to battle quote-unquote hate speech is with more speech and to get more people speaking up and pointing out, hey, I disagree with what you're saying. I think it's hateful. I'm going to challenge it with my own speech.
How can people see that documentary about hate speech?
Yeah, if you guys go on YouTube, on the We the Internet TV channel, just put in 5 Reasons Why We Need Hate Speech, and it's available there.
How challenging is it to be a comic in this current climate, the one that John describes, where it just seems people are waiting to be perpetually offended by something?
Well, I think there's no better time, really, to be a comedian. I mean, right now, so many of the gatekeepers have been sort of pushed aside, where now if you have a voice, if you have an idea, you can go and you can produce it, you can put it out there. And thankfully, if you're going back, 20, 30 years where, say Johnny Carson was the the way for a stand-up comedian to make it, to get past, you had to be really good. So now, fortunately, you can suck and make a career out of comedy. So I'm thankful for that.
How do you make a career out of it by not being good at it? That you're saying the internet gives us this opportunity?
Yeah, the internet definitely gives you this opportunity, but there's also all different ways that you can be a comedian. You don't just have to do stand-up. You don't just have to do sketch comedy. You could do podcasting. You could do straight-to-camera vlogging and make a career to that.
You ever see this guy who does the fake Italian voices? It's like a internet, like a YouTube thing. You ever see this guy? He does his grandmother and his grandfather. You ever see those, Frank? I gotta get a couple clips of those. This is probably right up what you're talking about. The guy's like a regular guy, but he's hysterically funny. He probably gets millions of hits. He's probably making a boatload of money selling advertising and stuff. But the last thing is actual political correctness in comedy. Me and you were talking. You and I were talking before you came on today about this recent thing with an NFL player. Janoris Jenkins used the R word, which is like a slur against handicapped people. And then he came out with a totally backhanded fake apology. But is this whole political correctness, is it still legal in comedy? Can you still make politically correct jokes?
You could definitely make politically correct jokes, and that was the first time I had heard about that particular instance. One thing that I do wish more people would do is not give sort of half-assed apologies. If you are sincerely sorry for what you said, come out and say that you're sorry for it. But the whole hey, if I offended anybody, I apologize. It's say own up to what you said. That's what I think.
Yeah, I'm with you. What kind of political incorrectness is still allowed today? Like, Don Rickles made a career out of racist jokes and all this other stuff, and it was allowed. Is there anything that's in bounds these days? I'm not asking you to get us thrown off the air or anything.
Well, I think ultimately it's going to come to the eye of the
feel the audience and see what you can see what lines you can go up to.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're right up to the line where this segment ends. I want to thank Lou Perez. You got to go check out We the Internet to get another cool perspective on all the stuff that's happening out there in this crazy world. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with Dabby Carreras to talk about how right or wrong I may be that the market could be 30,000 by the time it strikes 12 on 12/31. Quick break, back after this.